Guardians of the Galaxy as a series has always been an underdog story to me. Not even regarding this game, but also with the very first movie from 2014. Now, I do like to call myself a Marvel fan, but before that movie came out, I knew absolutely nothing about this group of misfit heroes. I thought this was going to end up as a bland superhero story just like all the rest, but of course I was pleasantly wrong. Fast forward all the way up until this new game, and the same exact thoughts came across my mind. After seeing the other Marvel game from Square Enix, I had the lowest of hopes for Guardians, and yet again, I was wrong. I kid you not, I really pre-ordered this game solely intending to make this deeper comparison video with the Avengers. I was ready to slander it and join in on the conversation about how Insomniac needs to snatch up all the Marvel games from here on out. But no, surprisingly, I'm here today after playing possibly one of the best games of 2021. And after going into it with the smallest of expectations, I'm more satisfied than I ever anticipated. Starting off, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this game, I have to give props to Square for simply just this difficulty screen. There's so much variety in this one menu that could potentially turn this game into an entire different experience for each and every person. And hey, maybe I'm not cultured enough to have seen this in other games, but being able to change specific parameters with your own health and damage outside of simply choosing 3 or 4 difficulty settings is such a smart idea. So even if this is your very first game ever, or you're a super hardcore gamer that will spit at anything less difficult than a Dark Souls game, you have the options that are exactly perfect for you. But yes, even after that difficulty screen, there is so much more about the game that just caught me off guard. The most important thing has to be the dialogue. The banter, the conversations, the jokes, and especially the choices, they all flow together so well.
Less depressed. Thanks.
And this is coming from a person who normally gets bored of the text-heavy dialogue from games like Mass Effect or even Skyrim. This is absolutely a breath of fresh air for me. I felt a lot more enticed to check my surroundings and get involved with the discussions with the rest of the team because I didn't feel like it was a chore.
Hey, Gamora.
You're supposed to knock.
What are you doing? You're supposed to be looking for money.
I did.
And?
I don't have any.
Also, what's with the dolls?
The entire game constantly opens itself up and digs into parts of the comics that I never would have expected. It's an absolute thrill seeing how much they packed into this game without anything feeling like it's fluff. Something that I'm sure any longtime Marvel fan will get a huge kick out of. But outside of that, how about that gameplay? Because I was a little bit concerned at first. Hearing that Star-Lord was the only playable character sounded like it would be boring, but as you get deeper into the game and unlock more abilities, you quickly forget that the other Guardians aren't playable. And yeah, sure, it does suck having to wait on their cooldowns, but trust me, so much of the gameplay is about using the other Guardians. I use Rocket and his bombs so often that at times it felt like I was playing as him through a good portion of the game. Not to mention that everyone works so well together. Executing team takedowns and auto combos, you really are playing as the full team, kind of like you're an orchestrator conducting galactic beatdowns. Not to mention when you get everyone together for a huddle and pump them up so you can hear some jammin' tunes. There aren't many games out there that I can think of where not only can I fight aliens but do so while also getting rickrolled on purpose. And shout out to the royalty-free version that's playing right now, by the way, because there's a lot of copyrighted music in this game and I'm pretty sure I can't play any of it. But I digress, even the puzzles in this game use each of the Guardians' abilities really well. For example, Groot makes bridges, Gamora helps you reach high places, Rocket hacks into things, and Drax...
I lift things up and put them down.
Well, he's Drax. For sure, if you wanted the full experience of the Guardians of the Galaxy, then this game will give you everything you wanted and more. One thing I love so much about this game is how much is packed into here in terms of character development. Obviously, I can't go too deep into detail because I would give away a lot of spoilers for this game. This game is very detailed. It goes really deep into Marvel lore. Things I never thought I would see in this game, I saw in this game, and I was like, wow, they really went there. Holy shit. I seriously can't tell you enough how many times I swore this game was about to reach the end, but boom. They hit you with more lore, more world building, and more character development for every bit of the game. It's crazy to me that for an action game like this, my favorite part of the entire experience isn't even the combat. Which again, the combat is really cool, don't sleep on that. But no, the way that we get a look into these characters and their lives and their backstories, it meant so much to me. Even finding a random collectible in these levels could lead to an entire line of dialogue that you never would have heard before from one of the characters. Like for example, Gamora could open up to you about her life with Thanos if you collect the right things. And my goodness, don't even get me started on Drax and how heart-wrenching his entire story is. Again, no spoilers of course, but that part of the story was what really stood out to me the most. It's that attention to detail that makes me so happy that this game didn't turn out to be this paywall monstrosity like the Avengers. But what I will say is that one part of the game that kind of, just threw things off, threw me for a loop, was the glitches in the game, which weren't very frequent, but they did happen. Also, a tip to you guys out there who have not played the game yet, there is a point in the game, I don't know if it's fixed yet, but when I went through this part, this was the only part that was game breaking. I literally could not get out of this loop walking back and forth. They probably fixed it by now, but just, that's a PSA for me. Like, I literally had to reset the game because I could not get out of this loop. I couldn't do anything. But bruh, one of the funniest glitches in the game that I came across was this glitch where Drax just kept following me around the ship for no reason. It started off with me having one of those deep heart-to-heart conversations with him, just like I mentioned before, but the nigga would just not leave me be. Like, bro, I'm really up here trying to let Gamora vent about her trauma, and here this dude goes right in the middle of it all. Another glitch that was just awkward to me was a glitch with the huddle up feature. Now normally with the huddle ups, the gang is supposed to talk and they're supposed to give you their concerns, or they're supposed to talk about what they're feeling at the moment, and you're supposed to give them a response back.
Thanos used to tie me in fights like this just to make it interesting.
They are no match for these blades, Peter Quill.
But for some reason, after I started up the huddle, they just stared into my soul for like 3 minutes straight and said nothing. Again, it's pure comedy, nothing game breaking, but damn, it was weird. And yeah, of course, there's a few other bugs I think they should take a look at, sure, but please, y'all gotta put an end to Drax cock blocking, because that is a glitch I do not want to see ever again. All things considered, Guardians of the Galaxy really stunned me with how good of a game it actually was. As a fan of Marvel and action games, this scratched all of the itches I've been having and then some. Seriously, if you do not pick up this game, you may be missing out on one of my favorite games of this year. So now I'd like to hear what you guys think. If you did play the game, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Let me know if you thought this video was facts or lies. Don't put any spoilers down below, of course. And even if you haven't played yet, tell me if this video raised your interest in the game, if only a tiny bit. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff. And that's it for now, so I'll see you guys in the next one.
Beep, bop, boop. Boop, boop, beep.